I was I started to watch some of the Canelo fight again this morning, and it's just too hard to watch, man. It was just it's hard to watch. But when I rewatched some of it today, I got a chance to like listen to the commentary because I never really get to listen to the commentary because I'm doing commentary myself. And I was just so mad, like, everything about that fight last night really bothered me, and I don't know where to get. I think everything about that fight was all wrong. I don't think um, obviously William Skull, I don't think anybody wants to see that guy fight again. Um, Canelo is basically winning rounds just from landing like 2 or 3 body shots around, you know? And I know he won against Lara back in the day by using body shots, but it was such a much more intense fight. Like Lara was moving a lot, but he was landing some big straight lefts. Canelo was being aggressive, hitting him to the body. It was just I know people at that time complain about Lara's movement, but you can't even compare what we saw last night to that fight. And one thing that I took notice this time around when I was watching some of it this morning, William Skull really believed he's winning the fight. You know what I mean? He was smiling, he was looking into the crowd, he was showboating, making Canelo miss every now and then. And then I can just tell that the corner is not even telling him, like, yo, you need to pick it up. But what pisses me off too, and I know that people are not going to ever give any criticism to Canelo, but Canelo did not feel like being bothered with the movement. He just kind of like, all right, well, if you're just going to move all night, I'm not going to do anything neither. Like the Devin Haney fight and when he fought Jose Ramirez, that fight was bad too. But at least Jose Ramirez was making an effort to get to him. It doesn't make it good. He still did not look good, but at least he made an effort to make something happen. You know, at least Boots made an effort to try to hunt down and chase Zhukashan. You know what I mean? Um, there are certain fights where guys want to run and fighters just try to make the effort into making a fight happen. And where Canelo in this fight, he seemed to just not care. He was just like, well, from what I saw from it, it's just like, well, if you're just gonna keep moving, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna throw any punches. You're not gonna throw any punches. It's just you guys gotta understand that when you listen to the commentary, all they're doing is complaining about Skull movement, but no one is saying anything about Canelo not even trying to make a fight out of it. Canelo's been in there with guys that avoided fighting him. Yet Canelo made something happen. And in this fight, which is an undisputed fight, let's not forget that part. It's an undisputed fight. Big money is on the line. They're building up for a mega fight with Crawford later this year. There's a lot on the line here. And you are the face of boxing. So there's some responsibility that comes with that. You get what I'm saying? You are the face of boxing. He deserves to get just as much as Chris. We don't care about William Skull. No one cares about him. No one wanted that fight. No one asked for the fight. I don't know how he became a top ranking IBF fighter to begin with. So all the complaining we can do about Skull, it doesn't matter because Skull is literally no one's checking for him. But for Canelo, he has a responsibility of putting effort into trying to win the fight too. And I don't think Canelo put effort last night. I've seen Canelo against several movers. The Canelo I saw last night did not want to be bothered. And no one, I don't want to say no one, but a lot of people didn't criticize him for it. They just let it slide. So Canelo looked bad to me. Scull didn't want to fight, but Canelo looked bad. You know, he just doesn't. He didn't look like he cared. You know, and if you don't care, don't fight someone that I also gotta say this. I don't know if it was entirely on Canelo to fight this guy. But one thing, because I slept on this last night, I was thinking, being that he's now with Turkey in a 4-fight deal or whatever, a couple fights this year, a couple fights next year. Being that he was recently with the PBC with a multi-fight deal as well. My thing is this, like, as much as we want to see some big fights with Canelo, Turkey, PBC, especially the PBC, because, Benavidez is one of their fighters. What I don't understand is why agree to make a multi-fight deal and spend that much money on a fighter unless you're not gonna put them in there tough. I don't know how much he got paid in the William Scull fight, but I'm sure it was a lot of money. And why would you even bother? Who cares if it's undisputed? Canelo's already been undisputed. Who cares? It's not like he lost the title. It's not like he vacated it because he was ducking Scull. Why are you giving these multi-fight deals to Canelo and you're not even putting him in there where, like he would actually show up to fight? Another example is Teofimo Lopez against Jermaine Ortiz. Jermaine is running, right? He's pot-shotting and he's running. Teo is making an effort to try to fight this guy. Is he getting caught in the mix? Yes. He's getting caught with some good shots here and there, but they're not effective. Jermaine Ortiz was playing tag, but Teo was still making an effort to get to him. So I'm giving you guys different examples of when a fighter was running and the opponent was still trying to make a fight out of it. Canelo settled with, I'm going to land 2 or 3 body shots around, and then that's it. So I just think that it was a poor performance from the both of them. But I have no high expectations from William Scull. I don't think any of us do. I don't even know why he's holding a title right now. Because he hasn't done anything, period. In fact, he's done less than any other fighter that Canelo has fought in recent years. He has literally the most questionable resume for a guy that's fighting for undisputed. So, in my opinion, I just think that everybody plays a part on why this took place. I don't think we should all just be blaming it on a William Scull. The people that put the fight together are part of the problem too. Because we know that Scull didn't stand a chance. And I said it before the fight, because you guys were here last night. I don't know how to put money on Canelo on a knockout if this guy's a Cuban fighter. He has over 300 amateur fights. All he can do really is to run. There's a possibility this guy might run the whole fight. I haven't seen him do it in previous fights because he hasn't fought anyone that was going to force him to do that. But when I seen him against Vladimir Shishkin and he actually let his hands go and he didn't move, it became a very competitive, close fight. a questionable win for him, you know? And I think Canelo, he just looked very uninspired. And no matter how much money you pay him, if he's not aspired to win, he's gonna give us performances like that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know, I don't like the whole. I think the whole thing stinks. I thought the commentary was terrible. I thought the fighters underperformed. Uh, I think they should have never put this fight together. You know, but it made sense from a sense that Skull was holding a title, and in order for Crawford and Canelo to be undisputed, Canelo had to beat this guy. But I just wish the IBF had a better ranking system. Sometimes these sanction bodies, I don't know where these people come from when they're just showing up at number one. Like, where are they coming from? How did we get here? You know, sometimes I don't understand how the fighter gets there. You know what I mean? It goes back to the Avni Yildirim fight. How did Avni Yildirim get a mandatory position with the WBC if he had lost his last fight against Anthony Durrell? You know, it's no different from what I complain about with the WBA. Why is all these 135 pounders getting title shots with the WBA up at 140? You know what I mean? Ryu, Pitbull, Rolly. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? And I think if people can stop just cherry picking when it comes to certain people, like the standards change every weekend. When it comes to the fans, the standards change every weekend. This guy is running, but it's okay. This guy is running, and it's a bad thing. This guy doesn't know how to cut the ring off. He sucks. He's overrated. This guy is completely not cutting the ring off and not even attempting to, but it's the runner's fault. What are we doing? What are we doing? You know? But it's boxing, you know. I mean, I've been on here a long time. Double standards is a part of the sport when it comes to boxing fans, you know, and not just the fans, even the commentators. The commentators on there are super biased. It's just ridiculous. You know, I don't care about them giving the win to Canelo because at the end of the day, 2 or 3 hard body shots won him the rounds. It is what it is, you know, but I, I just don't know, man. I think Turkey is gonna learn. I think Turkey after this weekend, he's gonna something needs to change. Um, because we have been good getting good matchups, but we have to be careful with these big names, these pay-per-view guys that's getting paid a lot of money. We have to be careful with these big names and make sure that they're just not getting spoiled and they're just getting the bag and like, well, I got the bag. Because a lot of them are just not looking hungry. A lot of them are not preparing. You know what I mean? A lot of them don't seem to really care. Um, they're getting on these big cards, Times Square, Riyadh, big money, and they just they just don't look expired at all. They don't look like, well, I'm getting paid anyway. You know what I mean?